Aubrey, today's episode is called How to Connect on IELTS Writing. But we're not talking to anybody. What does that even mean? How do we connect on IELTS writing?
Right, seems kind of counterintuitive,
Right?
but you definitely need to connect to what you are writing, or
Yes.
you are probably not going to get the scores you want.
Exactly, exactly. Our student Andrea recently showed this because she got a 7.5 on writing. All of her scores were amazing. Listening 8.5, writing 7.5, speaking 8.5, reading 8.5. And this is precisely how she got a 7.5 on writing, guys, because she provided really strong built out answers with examples and details from her own life experience. She connected her own life and knowledge to the test topic.
Yes, so shout out to Andrea for those amazing scores. So exciting. And we also want to answer a question today because we get this question a lot. Why is my writing score stuck at, lower than I need? We're going to dive into this today. And definitely stay until the end, guys, because we have some really important tips for both your task score and your vocabulary score. That if you have these, you will be able to improve those writing scores.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome. So, the question that Aubrey referred to, we get a lot. We get questions, very similar questions to this often. So, I know a lot of you guys listening are in this situation. Mikhail said, I'm stuck with a low score in writing. I got a 6.5 two times straight. Okay, Mikhail, 6.5 isn't low. I'll say that. But it's probably lower than what you need. And that's
Right.
why to you it seems low, right?
Right.
Mikhail continues, other parts are higher than a 7, but writing is my Achilles heel. Great vocab there. What should I do? So, that is the advice we're talking about today, guys. How to connect on IELTS writing, increase the task and the vocab scores, and that's how you get a 7 or higher.
Yes, exactly. There are, of course, a lot of possibilities for why you're not getting the 7 you need on writing.
Totally.
Without seeing your essays, it's impossible to know exactly why. You would need feedback from your essay to see how, what am I doing? How is it affecting each of the scores? But what we have seen in giving feedback on a lot of essays, that a
Mhm.
lot of students are getting 5s and 6s on task response, task achievement, and
Mhm.
vocabulary. So we're diving into why, the main reasons we see why, and what you can do, how you connect to what you're writing in order to avoid these common mistakes.
And I feel like these two scoring categories are the hardest for a lot of students, students can study really really hard and improve that complex grammar, increase that grammar score. But these categories, the task and vocab scores, these are really tough to increase on your own. So let's talk about how. Let's talk about task first. What is one way for students to get that 7 or higher in task?
Yeah, so we're seeing 5s and 6 if there's not enough detail, not enough examples. So in
Yeah.
order to boost it higher to that 7 or higher, you need to fully cover everything in that topic. If there are two questions, you have to answer both, and you have to provide specific details and examples to both. And if you
Hmm.
keep it very general, it's difficult to really share enough detail. Whereas if you're willing
Exactly.
to get personal, connect to what you're writing, connect to that topic, then we see students really providing a lot more rich details and examples.
And this is the key here, right? Like, you don't have to connect every idea to something in your personal life, just to connect it to your human experience, to your life experience, things in the outside
Right.
world, right? Not necessarily like, well, one time when I was 5 years old, this happened. It's not all personal stories, right? Like, it's connecting to your own life experience. So, part of getting that 7 or higher on task is building out your ideas, right? Having a main idea supported by a reason, explained by details and examples. That is how we build out an idea. And coincidentally, that also increases your cohesion coherence scores because in order to build out those ideas, you have to glue them together with logic and linking words. So really, this is about cohesion coherence too, I would say.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Both of those are going to be increased when you do this. And then the second thing that we see a lot that we want to make sure that you're aware of is not sharing an opinion throughout, or not having your opinion be clear and consistent throughout. And if you're not connecting to what you're writing and really
Mhm.
thinking about your opinion, you might have
Yeah.
a tendency to do this. You might change your opinion halfway through, you might not share it clearly at all, and this
Yeah.
is really going to tank your task score.
Totally. You have to make it, you have to choose a side. You have to choose an opinion.
Yep.
Even if you're, like, not sure, right? Like, you have to choose a side, right?
Yes. And even if it's a problem solution example, it's not specifically saying in the topic, remember the instructions for task 2 tell you that you have to share your opinion. So don't forget every single task 2 essay, you have to share your opinion clearly and consistently throughout.
All right, so let's talk about the vocabulary score. One score that I think a lot of students are worried about. Every time we ask a student, why they're nervous or what they're anxious about, why they think their scores will be too low, they say, I don't have enough vocabulary. So we know this is a number one concern for a lot of you out there. So, how do we connect connection to vocab and higher scores?
Yes, the only way you're going to be able to use that vocabulary you're learning, this less common vocabulary, this varied vocabulary that you have to use in order to score 7 or higher, is if you are connecting to the vocabulary as you're learning it. We recommend when
Yeah.
you add a new word to your vocabulary notebook, add it in the sentence that you learned it in, but then also think of a sentence that applies to you personally
Yes.
and write that one too. And now you've connected to that word. You're going to remember it when you come back to actually use it so that on test day, you can access it for these essays.
Exactly, exactly. I still do some teacher training sometimes, and as you might remember, listeners, I just got back from a trip to Asia, and I was doing some teacher training over there as well. And this is something I tell all teachers. This is like a number one fundamental. When you teach something to your students, you have to make them use it immediately and use it in a personalized response, right? And so, to you learners, this is also a fundamental, right? To acquire new vocabulary and skills, guys. As soon as you learn something new, you have to use it out loud, use it in writing, connect it to your personal experience. And remember that personal experience, it's not just a memory from high school, it is your life experience, what you know, right? What you're curious about, anything in your mind is personal to you. And so you have to
Exactly.
use it in that way immediately.
I have absolutely been in that rut learning French and Spanish where I find myself making long lists of vocabulary and then feeling, why am I doing this? I'm not actually able to use it. We have to be more, conscious about more, what is the word, Jessica? Cognizant of how we're doing it, right? We're more focused with our strategies on learning vocabulary. You can't just make long lists.
I love the word cognizant. That's a
Thank you.
great adjective, meaning like consciously thinking about, right? Knowing, paying attention to,
Intentional is the word I was looking for. I like
intentional.
cognizant too, but we have to be intentional about our vocabulary. We also want to share, if you missed this one, scroll up and don't miss 1386, just a few days ago. We shared how to plan for general task 1 letters. We shared the plan for a letter about a gym. It was fantastic.
So
This
good.
is really going to help to see sample letters and strategies in use like this. So scroll up, don't miss that one.
Yes, awesome. All right, guys. So the takeaway today is that you have to put yourself into your speaking and writing, right? I know today's about writing, but the same advice is true for speaking. You have to put yourself into your answers. You have to connect your own life experience, your own thoughts, memories, feelings, all of that. Put that into your writing and speaking, guys, in order to get a 7 or higher.
Absolutely. We are so excited for you guys to get the scores you need, like Andrea did. We can't wait so you can move on with your life after IELTS. So thank you, Jessica. I'm excited.
Thank you, Aubrey. Guys, go to allearsenglish.com/KEYS to connect to us and our course. All right, Aubrey, I'll see you next week.
Awesome. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.